Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking some action heading to the MAC for a little midweek action between Buffalo and Bowling Green. We've got a promo code. The code is DOG if you want 15% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. Again, that code is DOG, D-O-G. Buffalo is minus 31.5. The total is 59.5. Buffalo is 2-0 straight up and against the number. Bowling Green is 0-2 straight up and against the number. These two teams could not be more farther apart. You've got Buffalo averaging 45 points per game, and then Bowling Green is averaging a nice little 13 points per game. And Craig and I were talking about this before the show. Buffalo has been a pretty solid bet, but the problem here, 31.5, that's a lot of points to lay. Craig Trapp, what do you think when it comes to Buffalo playing this really terrible Bowling Green team?
Well, if you can say a spot for a letdown, that would be the only way you could argue, I think, that you take the underdog here. Maybe if you don't like laying the big points, maybe you take the total. But I just don't know how you take Bowling Green. I mean,
It's 2 games into the season, though. How is it going to be a letdown?
62 points to Kent State. I mean, that is a problem. 38 to Toledo. And Toledo, I watched that game. Toledo could have done more. They could have scored that one. So I just think you have to lay the points here. Miami of Ohio is a pretty good team. Unfortunately, we don't get to see them play Ohio. That game is canceled as of for this week. But Miami of Ohio is pretty good. And I think you would have seen that this week against a very good Ohio team too. But now we don't get to see that. But what we're going to see is Buffalo just absolutely murder this team because Buffalo's defensive line and offensive line is the best in the conference and more like you would see dominant type. And I hate to say this, but it's the SEC type defense lines. That's the comparison that you get, especially how big of an advantage they have over rest of the league. And I don't think they're going to let down here. I think Buffalo's going to put a absolute beat down in this game. And I also think the over's the play because Buffalo, they scored 42 last game against a good team. I mean, what are they going to do this game? I mean, they could get 60 here. And they have a attack. That can score your running game. So even when you're trying to wind the clock at the end and run the clock out, guess what? They're going to be scoring on their run attack. So I like the over. But my better play, going to be on Buffalo, minus the points. Get in on this early because this one's going to go up.
Yeah, I think the problem I'd have with the over is counting on Bowling Green to do anything because Buffalo's defense, I had some questions about their defense after the first game of the season. They gave up 30 points to a Northern Illinois team that was not supposed to be very good, but it was the first game of the season, and I think they looked a lot truer to themselves in their second game of the season. So now we've got 3 games. This is their third game. I think their defense is nice and warmed up, and they should be in a good spot here against a Bowling Green team that is very bad, not only statistically, but also against the number. They've lost 8 of their last 10, and they have not covered in 8 of their last 10. So not only bad, but also bad against the number. So any other tidbits when it comes to this Maction matchup?
Just say beat down. Beat down, beat down, beat down. That's how this game's going to go. Maybe even bet this in the first half. You're probably going to have to lay, 17 to 20. But I would still think, I think they'll be up 30 at half and then just cruise in, to a cool 40 point win late. That's how much of dominance I think Buffalo has over this Bowling Green team.
Yeah, that's what the stats would suggest, but sometimes there's a little chaos when it comes to the MAC, and that's why I'm a little snake bitten when it comes to betting on it. But that's going to do it for our MAC talk here on Picks and Parlays. As always, great stuff from Craig Trapp. Craig, thanks for joining us.